opportunity, do I take it? So my belief with intuition is the number one thing that I've learned. I want to give a big shout out to Ira Moffrey. She's a metaphysical guide that actually, we went through this a couple of months ago. And our discussion with the intuition is basically your first thought. Now, your first thought that comes in your head is your intuition and the stuff that should be coming from your gut or from your solar plexus. So the next part of it is where we have issues with is actually letting our egos basically override our intuition. Now, there's two questions with that. There's two answers that I'd like to go through that really quickly. So obviously with your intuition, you don't go, you have your thought and you go, right, I'm going to go through with the thought. But it's not like you still have a choice of how you actually process that thought or that thinking process that you've come through. It's come through your solar plexus, come through your intuition as such. How to actually process that. Then there's another point where you let your ego come in and you try to talk yourself out of it. And that's where, okay, I'm going to start talking shadow work. That's where the shadow work comes in, where you put your ego on top of your intuition and go, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, because of the past programming. That's when you start having awareness of the shadow. Let's put that to the side for the minute, because it's going to start getting confused. Like I usually confuse people because I get all these things here. She's laughing because she knows. I need to put a collar on me or something. I need to be chained up or something.
It's passion, though. You speak with such passion, so I mean, it radiates when you get excited.
Isn't she lovely? I didn't have to pay her a cent for this, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm accepting donations.
we are accepting donations if you like. But basically, intuition, ladies and gentlemen, and the way I've understood it, especially becoming aware in the last couple of years, especially the last 6 months, is understanding that what comes into your solar plexus is basically the first thought. We don't put any real ego or any thought into it to crush it down. You analyze that thought for the way it is. If you have to go left or do a course or go to Perth, go to Canada, go to this, go to that, you understand that is the thought, and you process that thought through your heart chakra. Then you go, okay, what is it really towards your heart? What's actually going on with that thought? Because that when you get really into your intuition, or really feel or become part of yourself and become part of the universe, and also the grounding, the Kundalini effect, you really resonate with those thoughts that come through. So they are the true thoughts. It's like, for example, for me this week, I am going on an overseas trip. Now I've had this thing go, I'm going to England, going to do this, going to do that. Now, yesterday, I messaged this poor lady and go, oh, guess what? I'm coming to Canada. Now, the reason why that was because the intuition for me, something came to me yesterday to say, rightio, I went into a flight, it's called Flight Center, where you go book your flights and all that kind of stuff. The information that he gave me basically clicked in. So I was meant to go in there. I was drawn into that place, and then that fueled my thoughts into where I was going to go. So they thought into the heart, into the solar place to go, right, what makes more sense? And then it actually, you feel the flow and feel the balance within that decision that you make. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do over in Canada at that time. I go, obviously, to go see my lovely friend, but what's going to happen afterwards? So you think, hang on, that's crazy. Then what you do is, after you give it time to process, it's like, baking a cake, you know what I mean? You give it a couple of minutes, and then you go, right, okay, so I'm sitting there with my daughter going, right, this is what we're going to do. And so I've gone, right, I'm going to go and chase down Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm going to go to the Hart family dungeon. I'm going to go and visit Jackie. I'm going to go chase the bears in the forest in Yellowstone. Yeah, that'd be great. Smart.
I think Yellowstone's in the
smart cookie.
There is no Yellowstone in Canada. That's in the States.
Oh, okay. There you go. See, it's too early in the morning.
There is a
but you get where I'm going. So then it comes to a point where I might go to LA. So everything's changed because of this one piece of information that I took within my heart and understood. I didn't go, I didn't have that, oh my God, what am I going to do? I actually processed it probably because of the work I've been doing. So that's where the intuition came. Well, intuition is your first thought, and then you go into your heart chakra. So you move from here to here. That's only my idea of it. So I'm actually processing that thought, and then once I actually sat down and processed, instead of running around like the Flash, 5 million Ks an hour, I actually said, right, this is what could happen. And then you go from there, then you start moving those, start making those changes and processes. And it's, there you go. I've just talked about 150,000 things. So,
No,
yeah.
I agree with you. I believe your intuition is your gut feeling, your inner guidance, that first thought, no matter how crazy or obscure it is, usually is right, especially in my experience. Learning to trust that first thought was the challenge, like you said. But I agree with you on that for the intuition part as too.
Okay. So what